to the rules anyway. Well, you're giving them a shutdown, which legally allows them to do exactly what they're doing right now.
And they're going to do it anyway.
Veterans would be harmed. They wouldn't get their VA benefits.
They're already being harmed. No one is fighting for the American people, and it's feckless and it's
Shutting down
weak.
the government is not fighting for the American people. It costs the economy billions of dollars.
This man
people
has
don't get their
destroyed
benefits.
so much in 1 month.
It really does help us grow. Let's begin. There was a lot of back and forth fighting among the guests, which suggests that the producers were eager to end the event. Does anyone still watch this program, to be honest? Is anyone else talking about this? Right now, the Democrats are going crazy. They are falling apart because they are furious about what happened with Chuck Schumer, furious about Elon Musk, and furious about Donald Trump. It's a total catastrophe. Now, let's begin this phase. Guys, it's insane.
I can almost cry today for these people, these vets who are losing everything. Why don't the Democrats go out there and march and stop with each other? I'm sick of it.
Well, I don't know, Joy, that they're fighting with each other. They're not fighting a unified fight. That is the problem.
The fact that Nancy is now out there criticizing Schumer, stop it already.
You know why she's criticizing him? Because he should have been fighting for that veteran. He should have been fighting for the people of America that are feeling the way that they are feeling. The Americans that I've spoken to, people that approach me almost every single day, say they don't feel like the party is fighting for them. This is not about...
well, that's what I'm saying. Go out and fight for them.
But it's not about... Well, he had the opportunity to fight for them. Chuck Schumer caved to the GOP and got nothing. This was not actually the choice. But Joy, the choice was not between a no vote on the partisan GOP spending bill and a possible shutdown. It was a choice between a no vote and forcing Republicans to explain why they walked away from that possibility of a bipartisan agreement. And the core disagreement was around a willingness to fight, even if that meant convincing the public that the harm from a shutdown was the fault of Trump and the Republicans, because they are going to do exactly what they are doing. They're taking money away from vets. They're going to take money from Social Security. They're going to take money. So let them hold the water.
ABC producers were eager to wrap up the show. In all honesty, they should immediately cease airing it. Wait, what? Are veterans losing everything? Could someone please elaborate? Although they talk about finding waste in the government, they take no action.
Them hold the bag. Democrats in the House were prepared for that fight. Chuck Schumer caved.
They didn't have the votes in the House.
Okay, so it would have been worse.
They didn't even have the votes.
If he didn't concede, it would have been worse. And that's what was surprising about Pelosi saying that, because she knows from her experience as Speaker of the House that the negotiator told Chuck Schumer he did not have the votes. He could not get the votes. He shut it down. And one thing that changed my mind is yesterday I called him on the carpet and said, how are you leadership when you only get 9 Democrats to follow you? But then someone shared something that made me change a little of my perspective. They had exactly the number they needed to not shut down. So he gave cover to a ton of Democrats that probably in common sense terms knew their voters would backlash if they shut the government down. And honestly,
he gave cover to the GOP.
Why is it okay for them to flatly lie without giving any details? What was found between USAID and other agencies? How is the federal government squandering billions of taxpayer dollars? It's insane. Oh, and except this. There is discussion about a government shutdown. That is the one thing that Democrats have been trying to avoid.
Nobody is fooling themselves. It's a minority. They don't have the math. It's just basic math. There are facts there. It's not an opinion. They cannot avoid this. And if they bent the knee and pushed back just to show the public they were fighting, we would have ended up worse off. They would have gutted it even more.
They're going to do it anyway.
Legally so, though. So right now we're in the courts. We have more than 2,000 cases because of Doge and Elon Musk. I believe in the court system. I believe in the judges. I believe the one stopgap will be that moment. But when you cave and say, well, they're not listening to the rules anyway, well, you're giving them a shutdown, which legally allows them to do exactly what they're doing right now.
And in a shutdown, veterans would be harmed. They wouldn't get their VA benefits.
They're already being harmed.
Sunny Hostin is going mad now that Democrats agreed with Trump rather than shutting down the government. At least Chuck Schumer did. You see, Sunny doesn't know what she's talking about. Everyone appears to be against Sunny Hostin at the moment. There is anarchy.
No one is fighting for the American people, and it's feckless and it's weak.
Shutting down the government is not fighting for the American people. It costs the economy billions of dollars.
This man
people don't get their benefits.
But wait a moment. Gas prices are down, egg prices are down, and people are starting to feel a bit happier. They are living in their own imagination. Let's face it, To be honest, they think the rest of America is as gloomy about the country's future as they are.
Going to pull themselves
But
together.
as we speak, the courts actually stated that
every day there's some atrocity going on. Every day I wake up, what did he do today?
The courts just ruled that more than 20,000 federal workers have to be reinstated because what Doge did was not lawful.
So listen, be careful, because this is what they want. They want this fighting. They want this infighting. What's happening now, Democrats don't have what they need to get what they want done. So again, people have to get out and you have to march. You have to start making noise.
That's right.
This is now coming back to us. The only way people are going to hear how angry you are is if you get out there. We've done it when people were being sent over to Vietnam disproportionately. We got out there and we made noise and we made a difference. We made a difference. We made a difference when it came to women's rights. We made a difference when it came to Black people's rights. If we don't get up and get out there and start making the noise we have to make, it's not going to change.
Stand up for the veterans.
I appreciate,
But here's the truth. Most people want government waste to be addressed, and maybe even refunded to taxpayers according to surveys. Again, this show is the worst. They're not just divided, they're a whole mess. While discussing whether or not Democrats are fighting, the Viewcast actually screams at each other for about 5 minutes. There is anarchy. As the other members of the table shout, "Don't shut down the government, it will hurt Americans even more," one man asserts. "We should shut down the government."
I love Chuck Schumer. I love all these people who dedicate themselves, but it is now on us. We have to do it. You want to save your Social Security? You got to get up and you got to start screaming. Because the only way they're going to understand that you're not going to put up with it is if you don't put up with it.
The Democratic Party is already chaotic, and this performance is making it far worse. I swear, they have no idea what's going on. I'm starting to see it. Many of these initiatives are completely out of touch with the typical American, especially those backed by affluent corporations. Not billionaires exactly, but near enough. Are millionaires hosting these shows? They don't know. This is why they lost.
And you know what their attitude is? I made my money all by myself. How dare your government take my money from me? I don't want to pay taxes. Or, I built my company with my bare hands. How dare your government tell me how I should treat my customers, or my employees? They hate government. Government's a barrier to people, a barrier to stop them from doing things. They want to destroy it. We are not letting them do it, and we're united.
In fact, I would like to conclude the show with a video of Donald Trump that I found. He thinks the Democrats will lose. And I believe that these kinds of initiatives are to blame. They don't know what ordinary Americans have to deal with. They're not sure. Actually, the appearance of Chuck Schumer on the show, who incidentally is no longer popular with Democrats, was one of the strangest situations. They're treating him like Trump after he said something so ridiculous on a live broadcast that not even The View could save him. Look at this, please. That is illogical, really. Chuck Schumer makes fun of greedy Americans who want to keep more of their money. That's basically their attitude. My money came from hard work. That's what he said. And you know what? He's right. Yes, we made our own money. That's what capitalism is all about. Not crony capitalism, but real American capitalists earning a living without worrying about the government stealing it and wasting it on unnecessary foreign policy or further wars. But the reason Democrats are going nuts is because this was shown on ABC. Now there's no going back. No, they're done.
The Democrats lost big, and you look at what's happening with Schumer, but the Democrats lost big because of the stupidity of, they're backing these 90% negative things from their standpoint. Men and women's sports, transgender for everybody, all of this stuff, they're all for it. And they're still fighting for it. But now they have a new one. We're going to back murderers, killers, and people that hate our country. We're going to back people that hate Israel, want to destroy it, people that are murderers, people that are horrible. We're going to back them. I think that might be 100% issue for us. They don't ever find an issue that's like a good
politically
issue.
Very helpful.
No, politically. I mean, this is not backing Khalil is not a great issue. But backing Khalil's better than backing these other, hundreds of people that are really serious criminals. It's probably a step better than that.
So, what do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below. And if you don't want to miss out on the hottest celebrity news, make sure to subscribe to Daily Finder.